everyone. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to be covering what's new in Houzz Pro for designers. And this is meant to be a recap of some of the features that we've launched over the last year. So you may or may not be familiar with all of these, but we'll take time to go through and answer any questions you have as well. My name is Katie. I'm on the product marketing team along with my colleague Elizabeth. And what that means basically is we work really closely with our customers to make sure that we understand your business and how you're using Houzz Pro. And then we give that feedback to our product and engineering teams to make sure that we're building the best products for you to use. And we also, both Elizabeth and I, do a lot of work with our community through these as well as through our community forum. So you may have seen our name pop up in other places. Before we jump in, a few just logistical questions we always get. We will be sending out a recording of this afterwards, so don't feel like you need to take notes on everything as we go through. And feel free to add questions. You can either add them into the Q&A tab or into the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them either within the chat or live as we're going through everything. So I'll just show you a quick view of the agenda, what we'll cover today, and then we will dive in. So we have 4 or 5 sections we'll be going through. The first is really exciting about our AI-powered product tool. So that covers the Clipper and our Automate AI, basically to help you do all your work better and faster using the assistance of AI. We'll also talk about our 3D floor planner and how you can convey confidence to your clients with better visuals through our 3D floor planner. So we'll cover there our new elevations feature, as well as converting products from 2D into 3D. We'll also talk about just how to scale your business without increasing the chaos and the work needed there. So we'll look at some of our project management tools, templates, and things like that we've created to make everything much more scalable for your business. And then we'll switch into streamlining your selections and your contracts, going through our new contracts tool, as well as some updates to our selections board. And we will wrap with finances. So some more reports we have to make your financial view easier to understand, as well as our upcoming payroll integration with Gusto. So again, feel free to add any questions as we go through. And Elizabeth, I'll hand it over to you.
Beautiful. All right, so we're going to jump in here with some updates that we have recently made. Can you see my screen here? Yes, you can. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I'd like to talk about some really awesome updates that we have made to our Clipper tool recently. So we've injected our Automate AI into the Clipper tool. But before I show you how that product works, I just want to repeat and review what the Clipper is and how to gain access to it. So the Clipper tool allows us to extract product information very easily from any website that we're looking to source products from. So in order to download the Clipper, it is an extension that you'll add to your Chrome. A note is that it only currently works on Chrome, so you'll have to have a Chrome browser to activate the Clipper. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your settings tab. During the integration, in the integration section, there will be a Clipper tool. You'll open that page and you'll select Get the Clipper. Download that extension. You're going to add that extension to Chrome through the kind of Chrome web setup. It will pop up to add the extension. And then my advice would be to follow this last step and actually pin the extension to your browser. So this way it's easily available for you whenever you need it for sourcing products. So let's show you a little bit about how that Clipper works and how Automate Smart Sourcing makes it even better. So the first thing you'll do is you'll navigate to any kind of furniture site or any kind of site where you're sourcing materials for your project. You'll see I have my extension up here on the right side that I can use anytime I would like to. I'm going to select a particular product that I would like to use in my project. I'm going to click the Houzz logo on the top right here for the extension. You'll see the kind of standard Clipper workflow appear. But what you'll notice now is on the top right, you'll see this purple Automate Smart Sourcing button. So I'm going to select that. Beautiful. It's fetching that product information. So Automate will extract product information from any vendor website and automatically map it to all of the correct Clipper fields. So you'll see that information here. There'll also be a pop-up you'll see on the images side on the left to select what images you would like to associate with that item that will eventually wind up in your selections or mood boards or items. So I'm going to select maybe these two, maybe one in context. Looks good to me. I'll review all of these items that were automatically filled out by Automate. So again, no copy and pasting over from the product specs into this Clipper. We'll look at I already had my markup set, but you can set your markup to be whatever you would like. You can click if that item is taxable. You can select a category. So for this example, I'm going to say it's a dining room chair. You can select a particular vendor. You can select the room you would like it to be in. And of course, the project as well. So we're going to add this to this project here. And we're going to save that to Houzz Pro. Now, the beauty is right from here, you can see, you can view that item in the clipboard. So do that. Save it. Oh, sorry. We're going to clip this again. And we will save to Houzz Pro, and we will view it in the board. I accidentally exited out instead of pressing view in board, but either way works. So you'll see it here as well because I did it before. Oh, sorry. All right. And oh, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Interesting. It should have pulled over the pictures. Oh, I didn't select the pictures on the second round. Well, that would make sense. All right, so we're going to go select our pictures here and clip them and fill in the products with AI. And save to Houzz Pro. In the board. All right, there she is in all her glory. So you can see the product is now added to the kitchen project in the Fabosi bathroom and kitchen. Obviously, it's a dining room table, but that will forgive that. So you can see all of the product specs here that were automatically filled out by Automate. You can add additional information around the vendor description. You can add additional items on the financial section. You can add order tracking information if this item has been approved through the selections tracker and is ready to order. And additionally, you can add lots of information about that particular product. But the beauty of the Automate Clipper is that most of that product information is automatically saved for you. You select the appropriate images and it's automatically clipped and saved to your particular project. Now, what we're going to do is once we have that product clipped and it's in our library, we can do lots of things with it. Obviously, in the Houzz shop, we did not have a 3D model of that particular table. But within Houzz Pro, you can actually convert any 2D item into 3D. So with that, you'll just find the item that you clipped latest, and you'll see a couple different ways to do it. Right here, we're just going to hover over the item, and we're going to select Convert to 3D. This screen will pop up for you. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of click around and help the AI understand what are kind of the most important three-dimensional parts of the project. You can see a sample of it or a sample render being built out on the right side here. This looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to click generate product. This can take a few minutes. It's pretty complex AI that's working in there. That's actually taking all of the visuals and all of the measurements and putting them together in a photorealistic way. So just like TV magic, I have one already done for us. So I have that right down here. When the product is ready and fully rendered in 3D, it will appear the same way in your library with this 3D tag associated to it. So now that my product has been converted to 3D, I can simply select that product, and you can see in here that I can place it anywhere I would like in the 3D floor plan. So I'm going to put it right under here. That looks good to me. And so I just want to kind of check out what it looks like right now. So I'm just going to select my little walkthrough button. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to check out my table. That looks pretty good to me. I think it's in the right spot. Maybe we can peek over here, take a look at it. But as you can see, it was a completely two-dimensional product, and we have rendered it in 3D and now added it to our 3D floor plan. So you can do this with any products. We actually also recently released the ability to turn tile into 3D. So if you have a tile sample, you can convert that to 3D as well and add that to the 3D floor plan as well. So that's the workflow for how to use the Automate Smart Sourcing to easily get a product into your project and into your library. Once it's in that library, you can convert it to a 3D product inside the 3D floor plan and place it anywhere you would like. So it's really, really exciting. And it's a really kind of new aspect of the workflow. Another really exciting update we have recently made to our 3D floor plan is the ability to add and calculate elevations. So what we're going to do elevations today is you can do this also in a 2D plan and a 3D floor plan. So it doesn't matter which way to do it. Super simple. So any place you would like an elevation, we'll say this wall. I'm just going to click on this wall. You'll see these two triangles appear inside and outside. So if you had a half wall or something, or if you're clicking in a wall that separates two rooms, the arrow would indicate which room you are getting the elevation for. So obviously this is just one wall. I'm going to select the elevation here. You'll see this screen. So what you'll do is you want to kind of adjust the view to get a better view of what you're trying to get an elevation for and measure. So what we'll do is we're gonna kind of use this height toggle to get that in the right place. Let's keep it focused to just this area, just for this particular example. And then we have the ability to do a couple of things once we're here. You can adjust the image as well, and then you can also take some measurements. So I'm going to take some measurements right along the wall here and down. And snap those. Perfect. Oh, sorry. I'm going to snap that. Beautiful. And then you can also measure this way. I mean, we already have these measurements, but just for fun, you can do it this way as well. And then those measurements will be saved to any particular elevation. So once you have a view you like for that elevation, it will be saved that way. There are a couple things you can do from here. You can generate a photorealistic image of a particular elevation, or, which is what I like to do, is to just take a screenshot view. Screenshot that current elevation. You don't need to view it right now. But as you can see, we've created multiple elevations for this particular model. You can see one here, we've done one here, we've done one here. So lots of ways you can do it. And then if you open each of these elevations, you can see all of the measurements within them. So measurements this way, and obviously the elevation measurements vertically. You can also generate photorealistic screenshots. So from this view of the 3D floor plan, we can generate a photorealistic image. I can select generate, and then that will, again, do some TV magic and appear in my inbox as a photorealistic image once it is completely rendered. All right, I'm going to switch gears here quickly, but I wanted to know if there's any questions.
No, we don't have any questions. Feel free to add anything into the chat. We're happy to answer them here.
Okay, great. So next, let's talk about some new features that we released in regards to how we view projects and project statuses. So this has been a request for a long time, and we are currently have this list view of all of your projects and all the information there. But what we've done is we've recently added a Kanban view of projects. Some of you might be familiar with this if you've ever used another project management software where you have kind of all of your open statuses for all of your projects, what phases they're in. From here, you can drag and drop items, you can pin projects, you can click to view projects. So it's just a little bit of an easier way to manage your project views. And I just want to say that this is kind of the first version of the Kanban view for projects, and we plan to expand the Kanban functionality to other features as well. But we just wanted to give you a quick view. You can also customize these and only show, open status projects, in status projects, open, closed, and other projects in different phases as well. And then last but not least, I did want to introduce us to project templates. So we have lots and lots and lots of templates available for you to use. We've got estimate templates, schedule templates, mood board templates, but we've recently released project templates. So in order to navigate to project templates, what you do is you're just going to go to your company tab here. Under library, you'll see templates. So we're just going to select that. Under templates here, you'll see this new projects section. We've got 2 templates already established, but for this example, we'll create a new template. Template for today. And once we click that, we'll be able to set up what our project template looks like. So let's say for this project, we would like to do a bathroom design. Do code 007, because I like James Bond. We'll do a $20,000 budget. You can add any project tags you like. You can generate the scope or description for this particular template. So this template is for $20,000 bathroom design projects in, small residential areas. From there, what we're actually doing to create the project template is leveraging other templates in the system. So say you've already created a template for your contracts. Instead of having to repeat that process, you can just add that contract template to the project template, so it'll be saved that way moving forward. Here, we're going to use our bathroom estimates template, or proposal template, sorry. Our invoices template for bathroom, and then also the bathroom template for change orders as well. Mood boards, we're going to use our bathroom template. And then schedule, we'll also use our bathroom template. So if you've set up these templates as you've explored Houzz, setting up a project template is really, really simple. If you have not set up a template, for a particular section for a project, you can just click to create a template for that particular section, which will then be added to your project templates. All right. And then once this is all set up and good to go, we can select use template. Let's say this is a new path. And we'll say we're going to start it this time. And then we'll create our project. All right. And everything there will be associated with the templates that we already use. Obviously, this is blank because we haven't added a lot of the information yet, but all of the templates are available. You can also go to the template center and view any of the existing templates that Houzz already offers. So we've got sample templates for lots of different things. We can view templates for contracts. Houzz has some, and then you can create your own as well. So these are some Houzz templates, an agreement for designers that you can leverage at any time to make it a little bit easier for you and your team. And with that, we have covered the Clipper tool, 2D to 3D conversions, creating elevations in your floor plans, Kanban view of all of your projects, and then our new feature of project templates and a quick review of all of our templates. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was some new information and that you've all learned something. We're here to answer any questions you have. Feel free to put them in the Q&A section. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful colleague, Katie.
Thank you. We did get a few questions. One from Lauren, who's wondering if contracts are only available at certain levels. Plan. And I can take that one. Yes, they're available for our custom plan.
Okay.
So if someone is not on the custom plan but is interested in learning more, just feel free to put it into the chat. We could have someone reach out. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper into contracts as well. And then one other question from Steve. This is a great one, and I know a common one, whether you can load wallpaper into the 3D image or into the 3D floor plan. So basically what Elizabeth showed was converting a product from 2D to 3D. And she mentioned that we just added the ability to convert like a finish, so you can do tile, but you could also do wallpaper. So that would be a great example of something you can clip and then convert it into 3D and then put it into your floor plan.
Correct.
Yes, and that's like a late breaking release. I don't even think Elizabeth and I knew about that until the last few days.
We did, yeah. We just discovered it while preparing for this webinar, and it was a great update to see from the team.
Yes. Pamela, I see your question about showing how to build an angled wall. Let's see if we have time at the end. We can cover that, but in the meantime, we can share some resources with you. Okay, perfect. Now let me share my screen. Okay, perfect. So to start, I'm going to talk about some updates we've recently made to our selection boards. So if you're not currently using a selection board, it's a really great feature. And basically, it helps you keep track of all of your selections as you're going through a project. So what may have been done previously, like in some sort of spreadsheet or even just in person, going through physical samples, you can keep it all tracked in a selections board. So if you're within your project, you'll see here on the left, click on selections board. And then I'm going to show you a few updates that we have recently made here. So the first is being able to add a placeholder to a selection board. I know this is something that comes up a lot. And the benefit here really is it's a way for you to plan before everything is fully decided. So it's like a stand-in you could use for, say, a sofa or a kitchen faucet as you're finalizing what that exact item is. So it lets you build out the full scope of the project early and still set budgets and allowances and make sure that nothing is missed. And then as you source the actual products, you can just swap them in with a real item. So you don't lose any of those quantities or budget tracking. Everything stays in one spot. So as you're in a selection board, you can see we have some sections. So again, if you're not familiar with selection boards, we can share more information on them, but basically you can create sections in here to keep everything organized. So let's go down to our plumbing section. Let's say we don't yet know which sink we want to add, but we want to include a placeholder here. So you can click up here onto My Items, and then here where it says Create, this drop down, click Placeholder, and then you can add in. So let's say here this is a product, we'll call it the kitchen sink. You can add any other details if you want to, but you don't have to. And then same thing here, you can add an image or you can generate one. So we'll just do Create. And then when you go down here to these different categories, you can click in My Placeholder Library, and you'll see all the placeholders that you've created before. So we'll use this kitchen sink because there is an image here. You can just drag it over. Let's see, where did that drag to? Here in our plumbing section. So we have our kitchen sink placeholder. Again, it's clearly indicated as a placeholder, so you won't get confused. Your clients, everyone on your team, you'll all stay really clear on what is the final product, what's a placeholder. And you can also include it in the budget if you know the kitchen sink is going to be, roughly $1,000. You just add that in here, include it in the budget. And then when you're ready to replace it, once you finalize what that actual product will be, there are a few ways you can add it in too. So if you go in your library, say we have the actual sink we want to use. Let's see if this will pull up. Here's our sink. You can drag it over. You basically just replace that placeholder, and this message will pop up just confirming like, hey, do you actually want to get rid of that placeholder and put in the final product? Let's say yes. And then you'll see here we have that the actual product has taken the place of our placeholder. You can also create placeholders if you go into your My Items, so here into your product library. And you can see here, here's that kitchen sink placeholder. And you can also, from here, create a new placeholder. Any questions on that?
I don't see any.
Okay, great. One other quick update I'll show you here also on the selection boards. Let's go back in. This we made, I think it was in the last year, but just to touch base if you haven't already seen this, we also added these really nice indicators here. So you can see if there are items pending or items that have been approved or declined. I know some of our designers have selections boards with hundreds of items on them. So this here gives you a really easy snapshot to see what requires your attention, if anything. So in our selection board, we have this budget at the top. So that shows you the overall budget for the whole room that's included here. You can easily click here to edit it. And then we've also recently added the ability to have a budget for a section. So let's say you want to know where are we in the budget for cabinetry. You just click these three dots and then show budget. And then it'll show you how much of your total budget basically is going to cabinetry or is going to each of these sections. And again, really easy to edit if you want to set a different number there. Okay, awesome.
Quick question. Asking what the placeholder is for. Why wouldn't you just put it in the proper category? What would you use?
So the placeholder would be if you don't yet have the final product. If you know, for instance, there's going to be a kitchen sink, but you don't know which kitchen sink, or you're not even ready to pull a few real product options, you can just put a placeholder in. So everyone knows there will be a kitchen sink. It will contribute to the budget. Make sure it's all tracked in one spot. So it's basically to help in the earlier stages as you're selecting the products and trying to finalize between you and your client what they're going to move forward with. Hope that helps. Okay, great. Switching gears, I'm going to cover the contracts feature. So I know Elizabeth just touched on that. As we said, this is included in our custom plan. And basically, now within Houzz Pro, we have a built-in contracts feature. So you can create and send and get those contracts signed right within Houzz Pro. So everything is tracked against your project, and you don't need to pay for any additional or outside, software or platform to get those contracts done. So if we go into our project, in here in the planning section, you can click on contract. And then there are a few ways you can get started with a contract. So if you click this drop down here, you can choose to create one from scratch. Or if you have an existing template or contract you want to use, you can upload it. Or we've added in some templates here. So let's just click on this one, we'll create it. And then this is one new feature update we added. You can choose who it's going to. So you can say this is, the contract you want to send to your client, or you could also send a contract to a vendor or to a subcontractor. So here, let's choose our client. And then you'll see we chose to use this contract template. Everything here is very customizable. You'll see there are placeholder spots that can be easily filled in with smart text. So if you click this smart text drop down here, you can basically pull in relevant information from your project to complete the details of this contract. So you don't need to do everything, very manually here. You can see on the actions, you can download it as a PDF, you can print it, publish it to the client dashboard. So similar functionality to what we have there for a lot of our other features. And then we've also updated our signature options. So if you want to click in, you can basically choose what level of signature you require. So where you want to have spots for your company signature, for your client signature, or if you just want to add in either company initials or client initials, you can just click there, insert, and then you'll see your client will know really clearly where they're supposed to sign or enter their initials. So again, you can go through, choose where it makes sense to add in different signature requirements. And then at the bottom too, there's space for your company signature as well as your client signature. And then down here at the bottom, this is also a feature we have with a lot of our other tools, but you can see that activity stream. So you'll know if the contract was created, when your client signed it, all of those details. Again, you can preview the contract. You can send it to them either directly through Houzz Pro, or you can just copy that link and send it to them in an email. Contracts are also available at the lead stage. So if you're working with a lead, let's say you want to send them that contract, get the contract signed before you convert them into a project, which is something we hear a lot of feedback on. You can see here in this lead, you can choose to create a contract. And again, it will have all the same functionality. The contract will be created against the lead. And then if that lead turns into a project, you'll see the contract will be logged and stored within that project. Any questions? No? Okay, great. Then we are gonna switch gears a little bit into some of our financial tools and a new report that we recently released, which is an open invoice report. So I know this is something we hear a lot about. If we go here into our financials, click on reports, we have a lot of financial reports. So if you haven't had a chance to explore them, feel free to go through. We have payments reports to help you see the status of payments and payouts, which are those payments that were made to you through Houzz Pro. We have sales tax liability, other transaction reports. And the one I wanted to touch on now is this open invoices report. So this is basically a way for you to stay on top of what you're owed, and you can really easily see who owes you money, which is, an important thing, obviously, for you to understand in your business, and then make sure you get paid. So if you click into this open invoices report, you'll see it has a lot of the same filtering capabilities that our other reports have. So you can choose to look within a certain time frame. You can look at the status of, what was sent, what was paid. You can customize your settings. And then here you'll see at a high level the clients that owe you money, and potentially the different documents that you're owed money on. So all the details will be here. You can see when you sent that to them. And then if you scroll over, there's this little eye icon. And so you can see more details there. So for instance, if the payment breakdown was done over a few different documents, you can see how much was on each document as well as how many days past due it is. So again, it gives you a really easy way to see who you need to follow up with to help make sure that you're getting paid when you need to be. And then the last financial update I'll talk about here is actually not even live yet, but it's coming soon. We're aiming for mid-February, and that will be an integration with Gusto to process payroll. So I'm not sure if any of you are already using Gusto, but we're gonna be integrating Gusto into Houzz Pro. So basically you can do all your payroll within one spot. So as you're tracking time and expenses, as you're tracking time for your team members, you'll log that within Houzz Pro and it will automatically go over to Gusto. So we are running a promotion right now. We can put this link into the chat. I think it's actually only till the end of January, but if you sign up for Gusto, you can get 1 month free. And we know that the beginning of the year is a time when a lot of you are probably reconsidering everything that you're using and paying for. So if you are looking for a new payroll provider, this is a great opportunity for you. We can share the link here. And I'll show you what it will look like when that integration is actually live. So that same financials tab here, where right now I just showed you the financial reports. This is where we keep all of our financial information. So if you're using online payments, that information is there, information on our homeowner financing. And then if you click into payroll, you'll see this option to connect to Gusto, and that will take you basically through an authorization flow. So this will be on the Gusto domain. You just authorize and connect your accounts. And then once you're authorized, there will be this payroll dashboard that loads within Houzz Pro. So if any of you are using our QuickBooks Online integration, it's pretty similar, where you'll have a dashboard where you can see all of your team members. You can filter by, how many hours they worked, if it was approved or not approved. And then all those time entries will be synced over, and you'll also have a really clear view to see, whether it's synced, if there were any issues there that you need to follow up on. So again, this is meant just to make your lives easier, especially for those of you with bigger teams. If you're already using some sort of payroll platform, it can all be integrated in one spot. Great. And then the last update I wanted to touch on here is around our Houzz Pro certification program for accountants. So I'm not sure if any of you are working with accountants. If you are, I know they all have varying levels of familiarity with Houzz Pro. And so we created this Houzz Pro certified program basically to help make sure that your accountants or bookkeepers really understand all the ins and outs of Houzz Pro, so they can help you better and make sure that they are familiar with everything, to make it more easier for them to assist you with your taxes, with your QuickBooks Online integration, with any of your bookkeeping needs. So we have this page. We can also share this in the chat. And if an accountant or bookkeeper is interested, they could just click here to learn more about our Houzz Pro certification. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Basically, we have resources that they can read. For any of you who are more interested in just, the details of QuickBooks Online integration as well, feel free to go through. It's a good, sort of overview here. But there are all these resources that the accountants or bookkeepers can go through. And then there's an assessment they take. I think it's like 15 or 16 questions, so nothing too in-depth. And basically our team just reviews and approves and makes sure that they understand how all of this works. Again, just to make it easier for you as they are helping you run your business. Any questions?
I answered a few, but there was one. If you want to quickly review how to create a section within the selections tracker.
Sure. I can do that. And just go back to it. Okay, so if we're in our selections board here, you can just click up here where it says create new section. You can title it. Let's say lighting. You can add any descriptions. And then super easy, you can just add items here or drag them in. So again, you can go to my items. You can search for, let's say, a light. Let's say we want to add this in here. And then it's tracked within your board. And you can also, you can rearrange these. Let's see. I think that it, oh, here we go. You just have to get this little hand icon. And then it's easy if you want to move lighting, say, further down on the board. Again, super easy for you to customize. I'll delete that.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Elizabeth, I will hand it back over to you to wrap us up.
All righty. So I just wanted to point out a couple of resources that we had. Let me pull up my screen. We have available for you. So we have lots of webinars. We've got both live webinars, we've got recorded webinars, everything from getting started to deep dives on particular features. So I just wanted to show that these resources available for you today. You can go to pro.houzz.com/for-pros/webinars. I'll actually throw this right in the chat so you guys can have it and bookmark it if you would like. The other resource I wanted to show you all was the Pro Forum that we have available for Houzz Pros. Here's a place where you can all connect, exchange information on how you're using Houzz, business advice, any funny things you've run into. It's really a community built for you. You can communicate with us. You'll probably see my face a lot in this community forum responding to questions and ideas, but I just wanted to share this resource for you so you can connect with other Houzzers. We've got some really fun topics like people's biggest wins of 2025. They're kind of explaining how, you know, things that have made a really big difference in their business, which particular Houzz Pros tools are working best for them, etc. So there's lots and lots of topics in here. We even have a whole section called Houzz Pro Feedback and Requests, where if you go here, you can actually look at some of the feature requests that people are asking for, and you can view that, and you can actually cast a vote. So I don't have any votes left because I vote all the time. But you can go in and you can cast your votes, up to 6 votes for any particular feature. And this really helps us organize the roadmap for, you know, what to build next in Houzz Pro. And as you can see, people have lots and lots and lots of features they'd like us to build. So the voting really helps us prioritize and build what's most important to users like you. So I just wanted to show you both of those resources that are available for you. We hope you found this useful, and we'll continue to do these moving forward throughout the year.
Yes, thanks everyone.